Hi, financial advisors. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Elizabeth Ryder, Director of Marketing at Indigo Marketing Agency. And today we're going to talk about the world's largest professional network, LinkedIn. And in today's digital age, social media is the perfect opportunity to connect and network with your ideal audience. And LinkedIn is just the platform to do that. We're going to dive right in. I can't wait to show you all of our tips and tricks. Unlocking the power of LinkedIn. Generating referrals for financial advisors. So I want to tell you a little bit about my story. I am a former chief marketing officer for a financial advisor. I was there for about a decade. And when I made the transition, I really wanted to help other advisors understand marketing a little bit more to expand their reach. Because I find time and time again, advisors get really overwhelmed or confused with marketing. Maybe they don't know where to begin, or they don't want to waste the time and resources to try things out. And, or maybe they just think it's really complicated. And I promise you, it's really not that complicated. If you're able to understand these complex financial markets, create plans for clients to not run out of money, I promise you, you can understand marketing. So my goal for today is to give you some genuinely valuable information that you can walk away with and implement into your practice today using LinkedIn. I know that you are fully capable. And if you have any questions along the way, reach out to me. You can send me a message on LinkedIn or email me. I'd be happy to help you. So in this webinar, we're going to dive into some strategies and best practices to effectively utilize LinkedIn to generate more referrals. Because don't we all want to generate more referrals? We're going to talk about optimizing your profile, building your network, creating valuable content, and connecting with potential clients and referral sources. The numbers slide. So if you're like me, I do like seeing these kind of numbers. It's just really fascinating to me. But LinkedIn. So in 2020, revenue for LinkedIn reached a little over 8 billion. And in 2022, their total users surpassed 875 million. So LinkedIn has the largest concentration of millionaire users, and over 33% of those active on this platform are in upper management positions. So not to mention the 40% of users that engage organically with at least one page every week. So this makes LinkedIn a powerful platform for finding and engaging those A-plus clients. LinkedIn also has everything you need to qualify a prospect. You want to know where they work, who they know, what's their education, their location, what hobbies and interests do they have, their contact information. It's truly everything you need to know to qualify a prospect. Also, what I don't have mentioned on here is when you're connecting with your clients, especially understanding their hobbies and interests, or where there might be potential connections between clients that you didn't realize previously. This is a great tool to understand your current clients more, which helps with your marketing and just genuinely getting to know them. It makes conversation so much easier when you know a little bit about them. So how can you leverage LinkedIn Market? Well, first is you're going to want to create valuable content the prospects need. So what does that mean? We want to answer an urgent question or solve an important problem for them. We're going to want to connect and engage with qualified prospects and create a repeatable process for new leads and clients. Because let's not make this really complicated. Let's repeat the same process, just tweak it a little bit for each of the referrals you want to reach out to. So creating that valuable content, what that means is you're going to produce content that's relevant, useful, and informative to your target audience. And it provides them with these insights and knowledge they may not have had before. So let's think of content that can help establish you as a thought leader in your industry. You want to build that credibility and trust with your clients and prospects. So when you're getting ready to post something, maybe even think of another industry leader like Michael Kitces. What would he post? You're going to want to create some valuable content by knowing your audience. So First and foremost, let's understand what their interests, pain points, and challenges are. What information do they need? Provide insights and knowledge that's not readily available elsewhere. Why should they go to you specifically? Let's be clear and concise. Make it easy for clients and prospects to work with you. So don't confuse your audience. And you're going to want to use a variety of content. So include webinars, ebooks, downloadable guides, blogs, videos, and so much more. This is going to help keep you fresh and engaging. So I'm going to go through a couple of examples. So this is the first one. This is an ebook, and I want to make a couple of notes on it. For an ebook, this is a great option. So your post-retirement money hacks, 101 ways retirees can save money and spend it wisely. But this is what I would say is an example of like an entry-level option. If you don't really know where to start, you just want to at least try something, I'd go down this path. But if you truly want to connect and resonate with your ideal audience, you're going to want to be more niche specific. Or you're going to want to take this to a new level. So you could have something like this, but you need to have a teaser of the 101 ways of like why it is very different. Because what would turn me off from it is that I don't want to, click something, give my email or, things like that, and it be real basic. So make sure that when you're kind of going through this, that you are really delving into why they want to reach out, why they're going to want to download this, because you have something to offer them of value. So this is a really good example. So the 7 ways to maximize your Nike's benefit package. So it's niche specific. If I work for Nike, I am going to watch this webinar because you know what you're talking about. Maybe you have a little teaser and you talk about something specific that maybe only Nike employees kind of talk about, or, maybe they use some sort of key phrase and you're like, hey, they know that the sneaker teams are like this or whatever. I'm really just talking off the cuff. I'm not sure. But this is a real webinar that one of our clients did, and it performed really well. So you want to be very specific, going through those benefit packages. And this is a great thing to be able to message to somebody on LinkedIn to see if they want to connect and watch your webinar. Here's another good example: maximizing retirement savings for small business owners. And I mentioned this a little bit before, but make sure when you're kind of creating this content that you're giving away 90% of what you know. I know that sometimes advisors are a little hesitant to do this, but I guarantee you that by giving away some of your expertise, it only makes you look more like an expert, stronger in your field, and they're really not going to want to take the time to do it. You're going to get a handful of DIYers, but I promise you it is worth the time to actually provide value to them, to try to educate them. And they're going to want to come back to you over and over again for your guidance. Connecting with qualified prospects. Okay, so when you're on LinkedIn, you can search for a variety of key terms. You're going to want to find your potential prospects based on your specific criteria. So obviously your location, job title, and industry. But did you know you could even search based on the hashtag talks about section of the profile? And more people are creating those sections. For instance, maybe mine I think I have is, hashtag marketing strategy or marketing for financial advisors. But there are people that in different industries that have different reasons of why they would want to list that. And so it's really important that you kind of look at maybe your current client base, see what they have, and kind of look there as well. So this is really going to help you identify and connect with those individuals who are most likely to be interested in the services you provide. Sending a connection request. Don't be scared. So I know that sometimes there's a little bit of anxiety of reaching out to people. And the truth is, connecting with prospects on LinkedIn is still at its core a sales strategy. And sales strategies are almost always a number game. So the more connection requests, the higher likelihood that you will get at least some positive responses. So not only with that, in recent trends on LinkedIn have been showing that advisors who send a message with the connection request are being ignored more often. Why is that? So consider sending that request before sending that message. It allows the prospect to have curiosity about who you are, what you do, before they're bombarded with a salesy message. Because I know even personally for me, I have about 10 or 15 unread messages. I saw them ping through, but I don't want to be constantly reached out to and right from the get-go, a little sales pitch. So let's talk about crafting that perfect initial message so you're not ignored. So a first impression is key. So let's keep some tips in mind. So you're always going to want to thank them for connecting. You want to personalize the message, avoid sending generic messages. So you want to mention the person by name and mention something you caught your attention about them on their profile. So this, first off, signals to them, this is not spam. They took the time to know who I am. You're going to want to introduce yourself briefly, explain what you do, who you are, let them know what value you can offer. So maybe that's some industry insights or free resources or potential collaborations. Keep it concise. Keep your messages short and to the point. Avoid overwhelming the person with too much information from the get-go. So you're just going to want to stick to these important details. Always remember to be friendly and authentic. Offer your valuable content, but don't be too salesy. This can be off-putting and prospects may avoid responding. So these seem pretty simple, but I tell you it works. And by having this kind of as a guide to go through, you're going to create like a framework for your messages. And then when you go into it, then you can hop in there, just tweak out personalize the message for the person, or maybe you have a new piece of content you want to share with them. And that's where this like repeatable process comes in, is that you don't have to overthink it. You know, you already got your little template there that you've created for yourself, and you can just plug in and send. Tips for engaging prospects. You're going to want to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is complete and up to date. If you have a headshot from 20 years ago, or worse, you don't even have a headshot on your LinkedIn, please go ahead and update those. I know there's also this new tool out right now, the AI headshots. I have not tried it out yet. Maybe try it out if heading to a studio is not your thing. You're going to want to add a catchy headline that describes what you do. So don't just put your financial advisor or your RIA. You want to be really specific. So say something like helping nurse practitioners retire to a life they love. Use keywords related to your industry or target market throughout your entire profile to increase your visibility and search results. Because did you know that your LinkedIn profile will show up more often higher than your own website? You're going to want to identify your ideal customer. So if you have not defined your target market prior to jumping into this LinkedIn project, I would pause and take a moment to kind of define that first. It is going to make your life so much easier and your LinkedIn approach so much more effective. So you're going to want to define your target market and create a list of criteria that describes your ideal customer. So their search filters help find people who fit that criteria, such as job titles, industry, location, company size. If you have a CRM and you've been using it effectively, such as Redtail, you can run reports that have these, either tags or criteria already listed in there. So it's important to also don't add everyone to your connection list. Be selective with who you're trying to engage, okay? Because LinkedIn will block you from sending out too many connection requests if people have not accepted, like they like a certain ratio, okay? Connect with your current clients first. This is going to help you build up a healthy level of connections, and it signals to prospects you're reputable and have a strong online presence. It also helps reinforce your ideal audience. So you're also going to want to engage with your network. Don't just create a profile and let it be static. You're going to want to comment on their post, sharing their content, sending them personalized messages. This will help you build relationships with your current connections who may send referrals your way. And it's also great for prospects to see how active you are in the industry. And I want to talk about this for another minute because you probably experienced this when you're on LinkedIn, is that there are some individuals that will just post every day. Okay. And it's sometimes feels like they're just like on their soapbox, talking about whatever's on their mind that day. And, they will maybe engage if somebody comments, but you never see them reaching out to anyone else. And first of all, that's not how relationships are built. It's not how you truly connect with people. And also LinkedIn is going to ding you for it. They want you to be engaging on their social platform. So the more that you connect with other people, comment, and reach out, then the more often your content's going to show up. Also, don't just go through and like things or make comments like nice post. Take the time to actually read what they wrote and engage with the content that you actually want to or care about. Because that's how you just build these genuine relationships. Okay, so then last, you want to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So the Sales Navigator, it's a paid tool that provides more advanced search and lead generation features. This tool can help you find and connect with potential leads more efficiently and effectively. So you're going to want to create that repeatable process, make your lives easier. Okay, so you're going to want to set your goal. So let's start with 100 connection requests, 20 to 30 new connections. Send your initial message. So maybe 5 to 10 responses. Of that, 2 to 3 leads, 1 new client. And we also have this beautiful little marketing funnel chart. So kind of think about it the same way you would when you have maybe a prospect list. You want to have a bigger prospect list. You want to be able to reach out to them. Definitely when you're sending the content, it is better if the piece of content you're providing takes them back to your website to kind of obtain their email. So because everywhere else on the platform, just so you know, LinkedIn will kind of ding you for only sharing links. They want you to kind of engage and stay on the platform. So the old strategy of just trying to get them off the platform tends to not be as effective. But when you're sending messages and you're sharing certain content, you should use links, because if you get them into your emails for your monthly content you're sending out, this is going to help you to stay top of mind and kind of convert those leads. Otherwise, if you are only posting it on your LinkedIn profile, just make sure that you are doing quite a bit of content so that you are staying in the feeds and staying top of mind. Delegate, automate, and outsource. Looking for leads on LinkedIn may seem overwhelming, but just start small, dedicate just 1 hour a week, and be consistent. You can also delegate connection requests to an internal team member or a virtual assistant, automate your follow-up messages, and outsource your content creation. So let's talk about some common mistakes. Biggest mistakes advisors make on LinkedIn. Okay, so mistakes on LinkedIn are very common. So I'm going to go through some things you should be on the lookout for when you start building a referral network. And if you've made this in the past, these mistakes, it's okay. Let's go ahead and wipe the slate clean and try again. So not engaging with new connections is one of the biggest mistakes we see financial advisors make. So let me give you an example. As part of our webinar services, we'll connect with hundreds of new prospects that can quickly go cold because the advisor doesn't make a point to follow up and nurture that relationship. So you always want to make sure you are nurturing the relationship, building true connections, not just sending out messages. So before you connect with new prospects, be sure to engage with your feed. So comment, like, repost, and get involved with your current connections. All of this activity shows up on your profile and helps new connections get a sense of who you are and how you engage. Prospects are more likely to engage with somebody who has a strong online presence than someone who has no recent posts or activity. Generic content might as well be no content. And in some cases, it really can be worse than not posting anything at all. There's so much noise on social media. So the last thing you want to do is cause another eye roll from a prospect scrolling through and seeing the same generic financial advice over and over again. So here are some examples. You're going to want to tell a story, add your personal experience, or specialize your content to resonate with a niche. All of these tactics can be used to stand out from the crowd. And you want to seem as genuine and as authentic as possible when you're kind of doing this. So, for instance, you probably have seen more often advisors or other people on the platform doing informal videos, not really following a script. Now, you may not realize it is a lot of times they probably have outlined what they want to talk about and all of that, but it does come across more genuine, speaking from the heart. And especially when they tie in those personal stories, maybe what's a money mistake they made, or, maybe I didn't handle the 2008 recession very well, but this is how I'm going to change my approach now. These types of things just make you seem more human and relatable. So the next thing is not having a consistent strategy is going to prevent advisors from growing their LinkedIn presence and gaining referrals. So engaging once in a while or nurturing prospects here and there will not be enough. You need to commit to spending at least 1 hour per week sending new connection requests, engaging with your feed, and nurturing prospects. Automate and outsource what you can, but as with everything, consistency is key. Just block a time slot on your calendar, and I promise you it will make your life so much easier, because if you don't put it on your calendar to take care of this, I know after working in an advisor's office, you're going to be busy and it's going to be on the back burner. And I really think that it comes best from the advisor. Well, yes, we can have an assistant take care of it for you. They're not always going to know your personal take on things, or maybe you know this prospect in a certain way. And they might not have like the personal story of like, oh, hey, like I saw you at Barb's, party that she had back in 2016. I'm so happy that you decided to connect with me after all these years, something like that. They're not going to know. So it is tricky. I definitely think you can have an assistant help you with making sure that your inbox is checked and reminding you, saying, hey, by the way, you forgot to do this. Or you creating the content and they scheduling it out for you. But as far as like sending some of those more personalized messages or connecting with them, just make sure you have eyes on that is my only kind of comment. Okay, so you made it through a lot of slides. Congratulations. I wanted to take a minute to come face to face to talk about LinkedIn and adding that into your overall strategy, because I really think that LinkedIn can be a valuable tool for you as long as you have a overall marketing plan. Because I know that we get really fired up when we watch webinars or we go to conferences and we have all of these great ideas, but I want to make sure that you have a plan and a structure and that repeatable process that's just going to make you and your team's lives easier. Because that's sometimes just one of the challenges, isn't it? Is really getting your team to buy in to your overall strategy. And if you come to them with a plan, it's going to go so much smoother and it will actually work. So when you're thinking of your overall strategy, I want you to think about like a balanced portfolio. So what it works for you may or may not work for another financial advisor and vice versa. So I would encourage you to contact our team, because they can kind of go through with you what has worked in the past, what hasn't worked, what maybe some other advisors are doing with similar target markets that could work for you, and create that custom recommendation. It's completely complimentary, and I think it's a valuable conversation to have. Additionally, I want you to know about some free resources that we have. So we have a LinkedIn guide for financial advisors. It's a book written by our founder, Claire Aiken. I would love to give you a free copy. If you reach out to me, I can email that to you. Additionally, if you just have any questions about today's slides or our overall, your strategy and how LinkedIn or social media could really play a role in that, please reach out. We would love to help you and guide you along to create your 12-month marketing calendar and your overall marketing strategy. Thank you so much for watching today. I wish you the very best, and I know that your marketing strategies are only going to improve with your time and commitment.